What are we doing, Cassidy?
Yeah, he's got to drop the car off properly, otherwise it's going to stay
Wolf
stuck
is
like
already
that.
off the...
No, he needs to.
He
needs to take it off, or it's not gonna stick.
10-4, 10-4.
Do you want Brett back in cuffs?
It's like if I have a hose and I put a needle in the hose, when I pull that out, it's going to be an issue. But if I leave it in, you're going to be stopping a lot of issues there, all right?
I've seen that example with a balloon and a needle.
Yep.
Wait, he's talking about fucking balloons? What's this, cloud school?
You're going to take those gauze, you're going to push them into the wound until it's packed, essentially. The reason this will help absorb blood, keep it there. And then you take one of those bandages that we have, typically the compression bandages, because the reason for that is it will hold pressure, right? So if they've got a GSW, take the gauze, stuff it into the wound, and then put one of those compression bandages over, all right?
Got it.
Compression this.
835, 10-8.
You are unable to do that. So you run out of bandages. Holding pressure with gauze is perfect, okay? You just need to be pushing that pressure down. Again, the reasoning is you're trying to keep the blood in there. You're trying to keep it from going everywhere. Holding that pressure will then essentially ensure that there's no pressure difference, which then causes the blood to come out, all right?
It was clear everywhere. There was no one.
All right. Let's talk about head injuries. If for whatever reason, someone gets an injury, do not worry if they're bleeding a lot. Head wounds bleed a lot. It's just because how veins are in the head are very close. It's typical for these ones. Even like that's why nosebleeds are so bad.
Can they not hit? Can they not hit? They just not get.
A bad thing. It's common. Okay. Apply pressure with those gauze. Put a pressure bandage on if you have to. But just it's important to remain calm in those situations. All right.
Got it.
All right. Let's talk about blunt force trauma. Whether this is to the head or to the spine, you're gonna keep them comfortable in a soft position.
Dispatch 805, 10-7.
Now you guys don't have C collars, so it's important to keep their. If you are gonna move them, it's important to keep their head still. An easy way to move someone who's been in those situations is taking either side of their shirt on their shoulder and then dragging them using their shirt. So long as you keep that head, but that'll help move it and move the body without the head going back and forth, if that makes sense. All right. So hands on either side of their head and then grabbing their shirt, and then you can drag them on their back. It's not going to feel good, but it gets them out of the way of traffic if you really have to move it, okay?
Got it.
Alrighty. Then we're going to talk about concussions and stuff. You can shine a light in them, see if the pupils respond to it. How conscious are they? These aren't super important things for us to know right away. But it's the sort of thing that like you can check while they're there. All right.
Look at the ring.
How coherent they are. Check their eyes. All that stuff. All right.
So at this point, do we sort of like refer back to the typical, like Dr. Cab bit?
If you want, yeah, and that's important. With this, it's just keeping their head stable and making sure that you're not moving that spine, and just wait for us to get there. All right.
Got it. Okay.
It's always safe to put their head into a neutral position. A neutral position is very similar to that position I was putting Jules's head. Yeah, that's a neutral position. It's always safe to put them there.
35, 10, 8,
But it's important to note that you're not turning it or anything like that. Okay.
Got it.
Alrighty, broken limbs.
What does that not work?
Bleeding, treat it the same norm. Apply gauze, apply pressure. Don't push too much because it can cause injury to the broke. So if you have a suspicion that it's broken, try not to do too much. All right. If there is a bone sticking out, this is known as a compound fracture. Do not touch it because you can actually cause infection. Leave it. Do not move the limb. Kind of keep that in place. Make sure the person's not moving it too much. You can hold it for them if it's a big deal, or if it's too much. All right. Keep it supported in a way, so that way it doesn't get further injured, and try to keep them as calm as possible. That way you're not rushing the issue of them having an issue. All right.
Yep.
Common reactions to a broken limb is going to be passing out, vomiting, and shock. So it's important to know to be look out for. A common way to treat shock, especially as first aid, is to not only do this if like the broken limbs are like their arm or in their chest. You can raise their legs up and put like a bag under them. That helps return the blood back down to their body, or wrapping them in like an emergency blanket and keeping them warm. All right. Shock is pretty easy to notice. They'll stop. Yeah, go ahead.
Where's the stripper ones?
So shock is a decrease in blood pressure.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Decrease in blood pressure.
835 tailing a black and color vehicle southbound Power Street, flag 1060, request an additional 77.
There's a lot of different things that can cause
800 en route.
such a decrease in blood pressure.
Doing southbound Power, crossing Adams Apple into the south side.
Are no longer getting the blood and nutrients that it needs. So the whole body.
Eastbound and Innocence 10-9.
Now this can lead to.
It's 80 now.
Like a lack of circulation in the
Negative.
brain, for
He
example,
just dipped on me actually. Last seen on
may
Innocence
cause a
PCB.
stroke, right, so it's important that we're dealing with this as soon as possible. They'll typically go pale. They'll be kind of in and out. They'll be kind of.
There's one of those black and color two-door sports vehicle soft top.
Warm, wrapping them with a
Got him.
Jem, do a gift, please, and I'll send it to Matt quickly.
So that
About
is,
Laporte,
one. We're gonna go to the last one, which is not written down, but I'm.
Yep, he's sitting in. He took the West London exit. Stand by.
We have a large issue with drugs in the city. I'm sure.
I'm on Greenwich Parkway, going towards. I got him right now.
Something that you have in your IFAC is Narcan. Narcan is.
We're going eastbound Greenwich Parkway.
Sort of looks like a triangle, almost like an X or Y wing from Star Wars. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Ow!
Now, there are 3 steps.
We'll be northbound South Rockford Drive.
Can you zoom in a bit? Oh my God, Chaco!
An opioid overdose is very unique.
Go northbound South Rockford.
Well, not necessarily unique, but it's essentially.
Not North Rockford.
35 secondary northbound North
Ah!
Rockford, past Colorful Garage, approaching Marathon.
Stimuli. They'll go unconscious.
Closing lanes northbound Marathon, right eastbound Boulevard Del Perro.
Their pupils will be very.
Continuing eastbound Boulevard Del Perro, opposing lanes, back to correct emerging south Boulevard Del Perro, eastbound.
They might feel really cold.
Over
they
Movie
might
Star
feel
Way,
dizzy,
right
their
southbound
breathing might be
Dorset.
slow, they might be
Let's go in. Right in.
Eastbound
My
Dorset,
pony. A shadow.
Palomino, continuing
Wait
eastbound
in.
is a reversal.
Come in.
approaching Los
My
Lagunas.
pony. My pony.
Right southbound Los
Let's
Lagunas.
go in. Right in.
Continuing southbound Los Lagunas. Over San Andreas on the Peaceful, southbound.
You got this, Jules.
Left eastbound Vespucci Boulevard. Right southbound Alta. 22,
Methamphetamine
continuing
is not an
eastbound on
opioid.
Vespucci.
So an
Over
opioid is
on the
pain-
sidewalk.
it's a
Back
pain-
on correct lanes, eastbound.
It's a specific.
Right southbound
configuration
Available
of
77s.
Chemicals.
I believe you're the only 10 A
that,
units.
are part of all of the same.
Confirm.
I sent it.
derived from the opium plant, and some of them are legal. Oxycodone is one. Codeine, morphine. When I have opioids in the back of my box, it's just a specific chemical.
You better look at it.
Configuration. The issue is illicit opioids, like illicit opioids are.
You didn't look.
Illegal for a reason, and the reason is they have.
We sent it to Odessa by accident.
They can traverse the blood-brain barrier a lot easier than other opioids. So something like heroin, for example, is able to get into your brain and all of the opioid receptors in your brain, unlike morphine can, or codeine can, and morphine's one of them as well. All right.
Got it.
So basically, it can be extremely, extremely addictive and destructive because of that sort of chemical property. All right. So heroin is a very common one you might see. It's also called dimorphine. One we had, there was metamorphine, which was pretty addictive. That was a few years ago. That shit is horrible because of how it's made. It's extremely acidic to the skin. But another one that's really common in the United States, unfortunately, is fentanyl. And it only takes very, like, smaller than a penny amount. Cart fentanyl is another one, but these are all opioids that you might see someone overdosing, all right?
There's no way. Remember when this guy said at that family, the Eclipse meeting, and he was like, listen, all you gotta do is just text me, call me, and I'll answer it. I know I'm bad, but I will answer. Cap. That was Cap.
Basically, it reduces.
Oh my god! I have fancy seeing you guys here.
Oh, hey, honey.
Oh, hey guys.
We're doing first aid training.
It's always safe to use Narcan. If I took this little Narcan that we have right here and put it up my nose, I wouldn't feel it. So even if you think they're having an opioid overdose and they're not, give it to them. And the reason for that, because it could save their life. All right. Still hit them with it. And the reason for that is it's not going to hurt if they're not on opioids. Okay. It will. It feels like shit. And I've had it happen to me before because I've had someone inject shit into my. It's not fun. It does not feel good, but it's not going to hurt you. Right. Yeah. People like the desomorphine, or sorry, the metamorphine shit from last 5 years ago.
Yeah, I got
people would inject it.
Yeah, we were shocked.
So Narcan can save a life. Yeah.
I didn't
it doesn't
realize
feel good.
it was,
you start
like,
sweating a lot, but
always safe. So it literally is a matter of if you even have the slightest suspicion, a whiff of a suspicion that it may be related to opioids, Narcan. Just not even a second thought.
You can. It's advised that you 311 or inform us that Narcan's been deployed. It's just make sure that we're not going to give it too much.
How do I spell Narcan?
Narcan. All right. There are 3 steps to administering Narcan. All right. Lay. You lay them on their back.
After this, I'm gonna
spray. You spray it up their nose. Again, tilting their head back a little bit. It helps with promoting the airway.
Yeah, well, that's the nose
and stay with the person. Make sure you're keeping track of their heart rate, breathing, any sort of symptoms. Okay. Lay, spray, stay. All right.
Got it.
And you can save a life.
If you mentioned like they could be unconscious, cold, their pupils are like tiny, right? Dizzy, slow breathing, choking. Maybe not so much the choking aspect, but with all the other symptoms, like how quickly do you see an improvement with Narcan?
It depends on how much they've taken, but it can be really, really quick. The thing about opioid overdoses is that it happens really quick. I watched a body cam footage from another state, and the person they thought they were drunk, right? They were swerving all over the road. They were definitely high on something. The police was talking to them. They were incoherent, but they were talking. Immediately, their whole body shut down. And that officer, she saved a life that day by administering Narcan. So it takes about a minute or two, but again, it really depends how much they have in their bloodstream. Now, if you're not seeing an improvement and you know it's an opioid overdose, you can give them a second spray. Technically, it's safe to do up to 3, but speak with EMS. Try to get EMS there immediately because we can give Narcan intravenously, which can help their body a little bit quicker. So, all right,
got it.
All other overdoses, you're going to want to treat the symptoms, not the stuff. We can handle some other stuff, but if they start sweating a lot or they go into shock because of the drugs that they're on, treat the shock. Treat anything that's in their airways. But opioid overdoses can go ugly quick.
I know how to treat shock.
Well done, honey. Yeah.
I know. We have to raise their legs, put something under them to keep them up. It returns the blood to their body. We might wrap them in an emergency blanket to keep them warm.
Wow.
And wait for EMS to get
that's
there.
it. You really taught him a lot, huh?
I know how to do a lot.
It is anything that can save a life. So the reason, so we lobbied to ensure that you guys have Narcan in your first aid kits because that time it needs to be so quick. But yeah.
Do you mind if I borrow my husband for a minute?
Well, this is it. Well, that's the end of it. So I'm happy to certify both of you guys in the first aid training. If you ever have any questions, need a refresher, you're always welcome to reach out to me or any medic. You can be happy to answer those for you. I will mark you guys down on our end as to have completed it. Feel free to inform your guys' command. But congratulations, you guys did great. Again, if you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. All right.
Sarcastic.
All right.
What the guy?
Thank you very much for offering this. Thank you for announcing it by a 3-on-1. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity because both myself and the cadet should learn.
Yeah, so James Rue was running it, but then he recently retired from EMS, and then Minerva Matt was assisting, but she's retiring. So I'm not running it. I'm just one of the FTOs for it, but I'm more than happy to help support and train you guys.
I really do appreciate it.
Of course, and again, please don't hesitate to reach out.
I've always said, it's something I've wanted to learn. But it's not something often like advertised. And unfortunately with how busy things are, sometimes it's a little difficult to reach out and figure out if something can be set up. Because listen, I know y'all are just as busy as we are. So I understand. And I had a conversation with Miss Banana after people got injured up at the gas station in Polito. And I was there and I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, why don't you take a first aid class? I was like, that's genius. That's exactly what I'll do.
Well, hell yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to get to this call that just came in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, it's
and congratulations to both of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to pick this up. Alrighty, I'm going to get to that call.
What's up?
Come here. 2 seconds. First of all, have you seen Ziggy in the past hour or hour and a half?
No. I shot Ziggy in my dream last night.
Huh? What?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. There was like a high risk scenario, OIS, guns being fired. I was on a rooftop, and in my dream, I'm not kidding, I went to go shoot someone, and then someone was coming up the ladder who was not a police officer, and I shot him, and it was Ziggy.
Oh my god.
What were you saying? No, I haven't seen Ziggy.
Okay, his car was abandoned at Legion Square and it's all beat up and no one's heard from him, so keep your ear to the ground. When you going 42?
I'm having a conversation with a cadet. And then I'm going 42.
Okay, and then are you free to come to this D&D family meeting for an hour or so? In half an hour-ish.
And I can try. I'll have to make my okay. Can you make it 45 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I will do that. I'll do that.
Okay. I'll do my best to squeeze. Okay.
All right. Appreciate it. I'll see you there.
See you there. Okay, it's actually gonna happen. We actually did it. Honestly, the best decision I ever made was making it an in-character thing. Because imagine if this wasn't in character. Just imagine if this wasn't an in-character D&D thing. How much more difficult it would be. It would be impossible. It'd be impossible. You know what? I'm not even going to drive up to the house because I've got to go. I got to finish up, but I got to go prep some stuff because I've got to. So it's going to be a session 0 for D&D. I got to go prep some stuff. Get ready for it. It's not going to be a big thing, but I still want to get things ready for them. Because I need to explain, like, one of the things I need to explain is I need them to give me a backstory, and some of them haven't done that before. So I'm going to park this, like, somewhere hidden. You're going to check his phone in a month and see that? Yeah. So I've got half an hour. I've mainly done it all already, but I just want to make sure I've got shit ready. But I've already boiled it down in preparation because I knew this was supposed to be a 2-hour thing, but now it's going to have to be a 45-minute thing. So this is fine. This is fine. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be a bit late because I got to go get my haircut in the morning because my head's looking like a mop. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I will see you then. I appreciate you all. Make sure you check out !my play the game if you want to support the stream for free. It's a mobile game. You can play it. Get that orange ants, guys. Get the orange ones. All right. See you tomorrow, guys.